Now, why would they say they're not taking any action or doing anything? Perhaps to sidetrack people from doing things. Who knows? Could be a good thing or a bad thing. But I want to talk about when I first started into my spiritual way. Right? And what I was doing when I started that and what I was planning to do. Now, when I first started getting into ascension, religion, then after that, tarot, I think I was just starting to get into tarot at the end of my scrap, which could be another reason why things didn't go good, as I've talked about when it comes to is it a bad thing to do tarot readings? And if your life was doing all right and you're doing no bad to no one, no worse than out of 10, 9 would do, or 8, right? So you're pretty much in with everybody else, if not better. Right? And I started doing scrap. My brother was helping me out with that. So I needed some more money. Um, it was hard to get into things without money. And I had things coming up when it come to the car and things like that, registration and all that kind of stuff. And so my brother helped me out with some scrap from his job place. I was allowed to go around there and scab out the bin, right, as they throw stuff away, metal into the bin, as he does heating and flooring and air conditioning, stuff like that. And that's what I was doing. I borrowed his trailer. I did that for a few months, probably 3, 4 months or so, 5 months. Could be a little bit longer. Time varies, and as time goes on, it feels like it was shorter. Could have been longer. But that's what I was doing. And I started getting somewhere again. Started not having money problems. Had something to do. And I bought some, first things I bought was to pay off bills. And I bought these ornaments here, the fairy ornaments and stuff, didn't I, Emma?
Yeah.
And then they were pretty expensive, $200 actually, to get decent ornaments that I could find because I wanted something decent. As I was laying in bed meditating a lot at that time, besides doing scrap, pretty much, wasn't I?
Yeah.
And getting on YouTube a little bit. And then things went bad when it come to the drug test, everybody. So then that come along, and just before that come along though, I was starting to get a little problems with the scrap, talking to me brother, it's up and down, all that kind of stuff. But that's normal. And so everything was trucking along all right. And then I lost my license. And so when you lose your license, even though you're not working and you're on the pension and everything, you can't get around. And when you don't get around, you start losing friends. People come over and go, "What you doing? What's happening? What happened there? And why can't you do that?" And why didn't you? And I was going to pay for the drug test. That was what I was about to do after I bought some ornaments and that. But I always have this thing with bad timing sometimes. And then the scrap went down during winter and stuff like that. And you don't get expensive scrap. And so I had to wait, and then I end up coming up with a different plan and so on. And then the time ran out because I had to pay for vet bills and other things like that. It was all these things. And I did splurge on some stuff when it come to healing my mind, what I need to see around me to help me heal. And we all like to buy things and stuff like that. And we expect things to keep trucking. We have faith in things, and if we stick to the right ways, everything will be all right. But I proved that wrong in my own life when things slew down a bit, which was fine. And so it helped me slow down in the buying, start thinking, how am I going to do things in a different way? And so I started dancing and stuff to connect in a spiritual way to buy my time. Didn't I, Emma?
Yeah.
Well, and I did that for a while, every day, every night. And around some nights for all night, wasn't it, Emma?
Yeah.
For a while. I got into it where I liked it, doing it. And I listened to a lot of music and did me a little, checking out the debates and all that kind of stuff before I got right into it. And then I decided at that time researched a few things when it comes to marijuana and how they had their test and how it worked, and I wasn't happy with it. So I decided to redo it by getting recaught, going to court. Because when you get caught, they say you've got a time limit to go have your say about what went down. Because the first time I thought, yeah, why not? I'll go with it. I did have some previously, but I didn't like it that it wasn't, that it's not when it wears out. I wasn't stoned, right? But I took it that if you had it the next day, you can get into trouble. I took that because I admitted it that I had it the day before or early that morning. In some cases, you got to get caught in the afternoon. But I don't particularly smoke and get drunk or anything. Maybe one or two or something like that, like a drinker, right? Would have, but you don't get stoned or anything. It's like having a little bit of meds, right? And I do all that kind of stuff and I have too much of it to help sleep in a lot of cases or to socialise as people do to drink and stuff like that. Anyway, enough of all the marijuana. People don't like talking about things that are illegal, but that's the thing that I talk about. It doesn't matter if it's illegal or not. If it's a thing to talk about when it comes to learning and education, and if people have things wrong, it's something that I like to talk about. And so in the end, I went for a drive, took a couple of drive times, and scouting out. If I see a police, I'll see one. Emma wasn't happy that day because I said we'll go for a picnic and stuff like that. If I don't get pulled up. You know, Emma? Yeah, but we got pulled up. Seen a copper that day. Near the cemetery, which was quite surprising, and someone else got pulled up that day. A lady that also, I think, went into the cemetery too. I'm not quite sure. Because I've seen some people that look similar across the road. It was right across the road. I got pulled up. She got pulled up. I'm pretty sure it was a female. Before a survey, and I got pulled up just up the road a bit further. And decided to go to court and speak my say at court and to talk to them that they pretty much shouldn't take people's licenses unless they're stoned. They need to prove that they're stoned, and they need to look at their laws a little bit more. If they can't have things that it's not right, they shouldn't have it, all those kind of things. But I was told with some advice by the police give you advice there if you don't have lawyers and stuff like that. What it is. I did what I did, and there's going to be a fine, and there's really nothing you can talk about. I guess you do it afterwards, which is what I did when it come to all that case. And so what I was hoping, so back to the scrap, so in the end, that's all slowed me down. I can't do nothing about nothing. Here in Australia, if you're on a medical or if you've had marijuana every now and then, you've got a high risk of getting caught because their test is 50-50 kind of thing. Because I actually got caught while I was waiting to lose my license. They pulled me up again up the road, which I talked about. And it come up negative. And that time I actually had it earlier than I did the last time, which was quite surprising. But it did, didn't it, Emma?
Yeah.
I even asked the cop, I said, oh, that's surprising. It's actually a little bit worse than last time when it come up negative. I was actually expecting it to come up positive again. I even said to the copper, oh, here we go, right? But, I'm all straight, I'm all good, and had a conversation with him, right? It was early in the morning, I think, and I didn't have nothing that day. And, it would have come up negative, and it was the same thing on the other one. I was even smoking a lot of tobacco at that time, which I come home to show. Some people could say that I had that all as a setup or whatever they want, but that's the truth, that I was on it. And I know people did such tests and did test up there. They would get some answers out of their faulty tests that things can happen like that. And that's all I've got to say when it comes to that. Just like someone saying that they got a test just today, wasn't that about crack, coke, heroin or something like that? They come up positive some star today, and they're wondering why their drug test did that. And that's what I've been talking about, things like that, which is another good reason why I wanted to pipe that up, because when I seen it today, I'm going, oh, there you go. It's what I've been talking about, right? And I wonder if it gets seen and told more now because someone who's got a badge, is what I call got a badge, so they're famous, got some money in the government area. They're the ones that need to stand up more for all of us instead of looking up to these people all the time. Don't look up to them as much if they're not really standing up for certain things. That's what I believe. That's why it's hard for me to look up to certain stars. Okay, stars. Oh, yeah, well, they got a job. They got a good job. They're good for them. Good job. Nice and easy. They work hard, but not hard as a labourer does out there digging holes and stuff like that. And they get paid well and people love them. So good for them. I don't need to run over there and make them feel any more better than where I should go in other places. Right? And so the scrap, I was already collecting it, so I was getting rid of a lot of which I ended up keeping in the end because I thought it's coming low now, so I had to do something with it. Before I had nothing to show a point or to make more money with it. Right? This is what I was thinking both at the same time when it comes to that area. I even talked to my brother about going on to religion, and everyone wants to make money in businesses and stuff like that, and we all want shitloads of money, but I just want to, live comfortable, not worry about money. It'd be good to have money coming in all the time as you get money out and be in a business of caring instead. I told my brother that, so he knows all about it. Just before I stopped hanging out with him so much. So he'll help tell you what I was talking about. As we can all make money in certain areas, and what's wrong with living all right and doing the right thing, and showing how we can make money in different ways in different areas. And that's why I talk about in a lot of areas that churches can make money in a lot of ways and invest their money so they can make more money to put out, as well as the donations. Because a lot of things, I believe, a lot of churches out there just live off donations mostly, and they don't have another way of income. Where all churches should have some sort of way of income and a way of supplying their food and stuff like that. You can grow food, so you can supply a lot of food for free without not worrying about other companies. Because when things get hard, it's hard to get donations of food when things are hard. So they wouldn't be giving you so much in very hard times. So you want to have be able to grow food and do food yourselves to supply, which is what I've got all plans of doing. If I built such a church kind of place, a place for people to come, and when things are hard or need help in that, it's going to be a big place. Because I believe these places need a lot of things, right? And they should be not a huge place, but a decent place where people can really get help. We've got real massive complexes to go shopping in, but we don't have a decent place where people can go and get things done like mechanic work and learn and get food and volunteer and all the rest of it. And so I'm going to leave it there now. I thought I'd have a little blab about recycling. And of course, the drugs again, they're piped up in the drug test. Drugs are always bad, right? In any level, everything can go bad in every level, but everything can have a balance and can be positive in all sorts of levels too. It depends on how you use things and see things when it comes to drugs. And that's why I talk about a lot of things of what I believe, in my opinion, when it comes to drugs and what should be more higher up for people to use and what people shouldn't be using more likely because of bad outcomes, right? Drugs that give more bad outcomes, right, should be a lower use of a drug, definitely available to the people, and more thought to it, to use it to other drugs that can be relaxing, chill people out and have less effects and less problems. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I thought I'd have a little blab and hope you see my point. So all I needed was see if I didn't lose my license, what I was going to do with the scrap too. Quickly throw that out. Is I was going to go around, Emma, no, what was I going to do with the scrap, Emma? I was going to go around and I was going to go see businesses, wasn't I?
Yeah, you were.
No, and I talked about it a bit. I said, the next thing I need to do, because we had low times now, if I just had another one or two places, like how I was getting stuff from my brother's workplace, I would do a lot better. It'd be like having a job and I can succeed and work when I need to. And we all need money to do things, and I can use some scrap and the money to buy things to put the scrap together and make things a little bit more. It shouldn't be a 50-50 kind of thing, but still use up the scrap by recycling scrap. So in the end, the scrap makes money, and the money you buy something to also recycle to put into some leftover scrap to make more money, as you can't really scrap it, right? Or you get nothing for it, but you can turn it into art pieces or something useful, which is what I talked about over the last year or so. When it comes to all the things, and so I was stocking it up, and I've been doing it. That's all that stuff around the corner and the plastic. Lucky I did all that because of what I was going to do originally. I was going to make things out of it, which is what I said, isn't it, Emma?
Yeah.
Right. But I never got around to it, which is sad to me. That's all I needed to go for a few years, and I would have able to finance my business, right, to get it up and running to show. Because like they say, You got to build it and explain it and show it so people can understand without people taking it. And that's the worst thing about it. Is I've talked a little bit getting on YouTube, thinking YouTube will be some place to help spread and become a finance area or help me out. But that's a load of shit, people. Unless you're on certain lists, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Definitely on YouTube. And that's my opinion. 100%. And you get a lot of people that bully on you and already have the upper hand when it comes to getting favoured by YouTube company itself. That's my opinion. Let me know if you think something different. That's okay. But anyway, have a good one, everybody, and see you later.